what am I missing? Help me out. What am I missing? And it's not so much the specific words, but the intent. Because if you're really curious, what happens is you learn more. You don't get stressed out. You further your relationships because you're more fun to be around. It's great. That was a big aha moment.
Yes, and that was one of the things I wanted to ask you is that in what I do, I mean, most yoga students or anybody who does practice yoga, they begin a practice sort of with a defined intent, like learning to slow the heart and mind through breathing. Why is an intention? Because you talked about intention. Why is an intention, like no matter how big or small, so effective for our life success?
Excuse me. Usually in that yoga class you're talking about, it's not just the intention, it's also slowing it down, taking the breath, and bringing our attention to bear on that intention. So it's a number of things all happening at the same time. We are essentially biological supercomputers, which was another big aha moment for me.
Yes.
And if you think of ourselves as a computer, one exciting realization is that we can be programmed. And at that point, it begs certain questions. For example, well, what programs are running right now? Who instilled those programs? Was it me? Was it my spouse? Was it the boss? Was it my parents when I was 3 years old and they were still running? And what I think is my issues was really their issues. Was it advertising? And it's all going on at the same time. And with awareness, we can start to see, oh, that's where that came from. This issue that I think is my issue, that was really my parents' issue. And their energy got grafted onto me. Or I think it's so important for me to look a certain way and go, oh, damn it, that's from the TV commercials or the magazine. It's like, what's going on here? And at the same time, we can take control. We can program ourselves. And we are most receptive. The way it all works is we're most receptive when our breathing slows down and our energy is at it's sometimes called an alpha rhythm. There's
alpha rhythm.
There's different brain rhythms. Yeah.
Right.
And so in the class or in anywhere, if we slow down our breath, if we bring our attention, and then we create an intention, that intention is essentially a program. And we're now inserting that program. And it all comes together to be incredibly powerful.
Yes. And it's, and I think your book, Elevate, really brings that all together. I mean, Joseph has such a vast background. You have such a vast background in finance and business. And I just wanted to let listeners know that this book is for everyone. This book is a handbook for everyone. You talk about how important challenges are. Why is it so important to fill life with challenges, and what impression do you hope readers will take away after reading Elevate?
Two very different questions.
Yes.
Relative to challenges, they're important for some people. Some people love to get out on the field and run with the ball and love to cheer and be part of that activity, and others don't.
Yeah.
But there is that part of us where generally we're tribal. We like to, we thrive on being part of a family, a tribe, a community, a nation, and that community could be geographical. It could be a particular sport, or it could be, part of a knitting circle or part of a yoga studio.
Yeah.
But we like that. We nourish each other. And it's interesting if we say, hey, let's pick a goal, let's do it. Now, if the goal has no parameters, if it's wishy-washy and there's no time frames, well, it's hard to measure and it's hard to organize around it. If we say, let's do this, and we define what it is by a certain date, and we have a prize, a reward for doing it, even if just the reward is a gold star. So for your the parents out there who are listening, you know the benefits of a star chart for your children.
Right.
And this is part of behavioral psychology. The chapter devoted to it in Elevate. It works. It just works. So it's not just throw it a challenge, it's craft a challenge and do one that would work and do one that would be enjoyable. But there's other ways to approach advancement. So another way is to experiment with things. I'm writing a blog post right now. It's about New Year's resolutions, which are notoriously horrible. I mean, they start out wonderful,
Yes.
and they fail, because if I said to you, there's this thing that you've never been able to do, but now this year we're going to do it. Well, it's kind of daunting.
Right.
On the other hand, if I said to you, there's this thing which has bedeviled you, how about an experiment that you control for a day, for a week, whatever? Just try it, and you can decide what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try this. I'm going to try talking to one stranger a day. I'm going to try going to one new restaurant a week. I'm going to listen to one new singer a day. Whatever it is. I'm going to experiment and try to go to a yoga class or a spin class or whatever it is. And you say, and then it's an experiment. And afterwards, I'm going to say to myself, well, what did I think about that? What did I learn from that? We take the stress out of this. We can make it fun. It's a learning experiment. And then after it, when we get the new information, we can go from there.
Yeah.
So my goal with Elevate, which was the other part of your question,
was
to pass on wisdom, which is really our birthright. For a millennium, people have been living their lives learning, passing on to their teenage kids who don't pay any attention, and we wonder why they don't pay attention, because we don't pay attention. Some lessons we just have to learn themselves. But I was trying to organize a lot of this wisdom, which I have and others have found to be impactful, and to organize it in a way which serves as a bit of a resource manual.
Yeah.
So that when issues come up, we can go, oh, there was that chapter on listening. There was that chapter on awareness.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And that's how I enjoyed the book, reading it, but I enjoyed that I have this thought. Where can I go in the book? Where can I find some inspiration or a little bit of clarity? And that's what I loved about Elevate.
Right.
I'm going to ask you a big question. How do you begin your day, and what is your favorite yoga posture?
Well, I'll start with part two. My favorite yoga posture is everyone's favorite yoga posture. Savasana.
Oh,
I love that.
Course. Sleep time, nap time.
Of course.
You're right.
And it's the only posture where I know the is it Hindu or Sanskrit though?
It's
where
Sanskrit?
Where I know the Indian name. The other ones, child's pose. I love child's pose. I love pigeon. And it's funny when you had mentioned you were going to ask me this question.
Yes.
And it got me thinking, and I realized so my yoga practice is once a week I'll make it over to the Bikram studio because it's a really good workout. And you either love Bikram or you hate it. I love the fact that it's hot. I love the fact that it's the exact same 26 poses. I know where I am in the sequence. So psychologically, it works for me,
Right.
and it's a workout.
Yeah.
But I adore yin yoga, and I do it maybe twice a year. And what I love about it
Oh,
is you can, well, it's scheduling. The studio that I go to, it's
yeah.
I think it's Friday night at 8:15 or something. It's like
A little late.
I have plans Friday night, but on my own, I'll do child's pose and some other poses where I can just relax into it
Yeah.
and let my body, there are certain stretches they say,
Yeah.
yoga or not yoga, you have to do it for 30 seconds before the muscles release. And that's what I love about that practice.
It's such a wonderful practice. And Joseph, we've run out of time. I'm so disappointed.
I was having so much fun.
Me too. We're gonna have to have you back on this show and talk more about Elevate. Um, and if you would like to know, but Joseph is actually speaking at the Miami Book Fair on Saturday, November the 23rd at 11 a.m. Thank you once again for being here, Joseph, on Yin Yoga Lifestyle. And if you would like more information about Joseph Deitch and his new book, Elevate, an essential guide to life, you can visit guidetoelevate.com. You can go to amazon.com to get a copy of Elevate. And Joseph, you can go onto Yin Yoga Lifestyle and you can get some Yin Yoga videos on there, okay, that you can do at home from my site. So so that you have your Yin Yoga at home.
Experiment with that.
Good. Thank you so much.
I will do that. Thank you.
Much. Thank you for Elevate. We are very grateful. Thank you, Joseph. Many, many thanks for Joseph for being with us today on Yin Yoga Lifestyle. And please don't forget to check us out at yinyogalifestyle.com, adding enlightenment, balance, calmness, and creativity to your everyday life. Thank you for joining Yin Yoga Lifestyle. I am your host, Colette Darville. Join us next time to continue our journey of balancing into a state of perfect harmony. Until then, this is Colette Darville, reminding you to inhale, so, and exhale, hum.